Hi, second grade. You started another great story. It's about the Civil War. That was a sad time period for our country because civil refers to civilians, which means that we were fighting against one another here in America. But some good came out of it, as you're already learning in your story. God always uses everything for his good. I have a feeling that as you and your family speak, there are some good things that have come out of the sickness that we're going through right now, because we always have our God and he's always working for good. Well, here are a couple of words. You might have already been reading the sentence while you were listening to me. Here are a couple of words that you'll find in your story. And so the first one has a closed syllable and then a vowel team that says E. So what would that say without the S and then with the S? Go ahead and try it. That's right. Canteen or canteens. That's just a small container for carrying water. Go ahead and read the sentence while I read it out loud. The hikers took a break to drink water from their canteens. You'll run into this word as well. Do you see these lovely sailboats? Their sails are probably made out of this kind of material. This is a closed syllable and another closed syllable. Go ahead and try that. Very well. It's canvas. Canvas. Well done, I should say. And this second A, even though it's a closed syllable, we know that if it's a closed syllable, that just means it does not say its long name, but it can say its third sound. So that's why it's not canvas, it's canvas. All right, saying its third sound there. A canvas is a strong, rough cloth that is used to make bags, tents, and sails, and etc. So really strong, able to hold the wind and not get torn into pieces. Here's another time canvas is used in this sentence. You read it yourself, and then I'll read it with you. All right, let's read it together. At the end of our camping trip, we were glad we had bought the canvas tent. All right. And so they must have purchased a canvas tent, and they must have had quite the trip. They knew they needed that nice, tough material, strong material. Here's the next one. The next one is a compound word. Do you see that? There's one word right here, and then here's the other. What does it say? Right, forever. And I know that you all know that that means for an endless time. Let's read this wonderful sentence together. Jesus promises to take Christians to heaven forever. Well done. Here's the next one. This has a closed syllable and another closed syllable. You're going to see it in your story with the past tense ending. Go ahead and just read the base word. Correct. Gallop or galloped. That is to run very fast. I like this sentence. Let's read it together. My horse took me for a gallop through the countryside. I think that's a beautiful horse right there, isn't it? All right. And then this is a very special word, and you actually, I think in chapel we have a song where we spell this one out. It has two syllables. Both are closed. Go ahead and read that. That's correct. Gospel. And again, that second syllable, that E kind of gets smushed, kind of loses its full sound. So it's not gospel, it's gospel. All right. Gospel is any one of the first 4 books of the New Testament of the Bible. And then within the pages of the Gospels, the first 4 books, is the gospel message. And that is the good news that Christ died for us. So go ahead and read this sentence. Okay, let's read it together. The life of Christ is told in the books of the gospel. That is correct. So in your story, you'll have to look for that word and see, is it referring to one of the 4 books? Or is it referring to the good news that Jesus died and rose again and that we can be saved? All right, here is a closed syllable and another closed syllable word. And also remember that KN says The K is silent. Remember we pretended that the K was sneaking up on the N? And so she's silent so that she can sneak up on him. Okay, try the word. Right, let's say it together. Knapsacks. All right, that's just another way of saying backpack. We don't use that. We say book bag sometimes. I do. But you all call your backpacks backpacks, don't you? But that's just another way to say it. Look at the sentence and read it with me. The students put their books and papers into their knapsacks before they left school at the end of the day. I guess you haven't needed to use your knapsack or your backpack, unless that's where you're keeping your books as you work at home. I don't know. All right. Well, thank you for your kind attention. I'm glad to have been able to talk to you for a few minutes. Actually, I get to talk to you for a few more because there's 2 more words. I'm sorry. The next word has the EE vowel team that says E in it. So this would say, let's say it without our past tense ending. This by itself, the base word would say ear, peer. And so together it would say peered. And that is to look closely or carefully because something or someone is difficult to see. All right. And so you're really looking closely if you peer at someone. You're not just glancing at them, just looking at them for a moment. You're really sort of staring at them and really concentrating. So go ahead and read the sentence to yourself and then I'll read it with you. Let's read it together. She peered into the dark closet for her missing shoe. Good. And then the last one. Here we go. Now, this one, if you're really thinking, you might think that TION can be removed and that would leave an open syllable. Right? That would make a lot of sense. And if it's an open syllable, it should say Ray. But look at Mrs. Heath put a 1 on the top because in this particular word, the A is going to say A. And so go ahead and try that, knowing that information. That's right. Rations. Rations are foods and supplies, and usually it means you get a specific amount. Sometimes things have to be rationed. Well, you know what? I don't know if you know this, but at our stores, you can only buy a certain amount of, I guess, probably maybe toilet paper is limited to 1 or 2 packages right now to make sure that there's enough to go around. And let's see, what else is being rationed right now? I think if anybody can get a hold of some Lysol wipes right now, you may only buy maybe 1 container. I haven't even seen any yet, but that's just if supplies are low, then everybody gets a little amount, a designated or a specific amount. So, but it can also just mean foods and supplies. And that's what our sentence shows this time. Go ahead and read that with me. The campers were getting low on rations or their amount of food and supplies. All right. Thank you for your kind attention. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the next part of your story. I will talk to you soon. Bye.